Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome to this video. I'm going to talk a bit about not really what is going to unfold, but how to meet the energies and the things that will be playing out and where to focus. So the blue beings that I've been channeling have come in very strongly over the last 4 or 5 days. And they said that there is one message, really important message to get out, because there's so much information in the collective about different theories, about all the intensity and the chaos that are potentially going to play out. Many people are feeling this sort of like something is brewing in the field, feeling the energy is building up, and there is intensity coming. But what I say is that it's very, very important to get out another focus, not to focus and search for all types of information that is coming in about what is going to unfold. Because in the moment that we are focusing on that information only, one thing is to, stay aligned and know which direction you are going to and where you are going to do your work. So I'm not talking about not doing that, because that's something that each and everyone knows within, which is really what I'm talking about. Because when we are focusing on something else and we are really being distracted from our own energy, and the single most important thing in the time coming now is that we are focused and centered in our own energy, in our own light. Not like skipping around, being drawn into all types of, kind of drama or conflicts. We will be, and it's totally okay, but the more we are aware as things are building up to keep our focus within, it's also much more easy to keep that focus when things are intensifying. There is nothing as important as to shine and vibrate your own light, and that happens the most strongly when you are centered within. It is not when you're running around telling people how to do things, telling your opinions, looking into all kinds of things that might be unfolding. And when we then choose, because that's a key, we have the choice. When we then choose to look into something or to be drawn into a certain field or something that is unfolding at a moment, doing that from the centeredness of our own being and of our own light, that is key. Because when we are centered, when we come home to ourselves, that's when we can meet things more strongly. So imagine like a storm coming. If you try to catch and you run around for all the leaves, all the things that are blowing in the wind around in the field that you can see, if you're like running just around trying to catch everything, trying to understand where it's from, where is this coming from, how does it look, who lost this thing, where, like, you will end up completely distracted in a lot of chaos and more disconnected from yourself. But if you're standing and you're watching the storm, you can still tune in and you can still watch and you can still engage when you do it from your own free will. You do it by choice. And you can also choose to just stand in your own light and in your own power. Because where your focus goes, your energy goes, and your power goes. So be very, very aware of that in the time coming. Also remember that when it's intensifying, in the sense that people have very different opinions and very different truths, it's very important to differentiate between someone having another truth than you have yourself and someone not speaking their truth. Because if someone else is speaking their truth, even though it's not the same truth as you have, you can see and feel their divinity through them speaking their own truth. And not through the type of frequency that we are leaving of people pleasing, where people will say another thing than their own truth, or pretend that they have contact with their truth in a specific area, if they're actually in doubt, just to try to stay connected, or try to, okay, but in this group we think like that, and we have this truth, and I just say that even though it doesn't resonate with me. Then you're also distancing yourself and sort of more separating yourself from a conscious connection with your own energy and your own light. So distraction from your own energy is something that is a choice. That is really, really the key, they're saying, in the coming time. And that's why they want this message to be about how to focus, not on what is going to unfold specifically. And they're also saying, of course, presence, which is a part of what I've already been talking about, and also about seeing the energy, trying to really be aware of what is the energy behind things that are unfolding, not what's being said or what other people think, but really try to, from your own presence and your own centeredness in your own being, to look at and try to feel into what is actually the energy behind what's going on, what is the energy behind what is being said. Because we all know that we can say one thing and we can have a completely different truth. And it's very, very aware of starting to become more and more aware of this on an energetic level. Because we are energetic beings, and we have the ability to see this, and we are learning that. To be able to do that, you have to be centered in your own energy. Which is why that is the single most important thing in the time coming. From that space, we can also create. Instead of being overly focused on everything that is falling apart, that is chaotic, that is conflicting, we can also keep our focus on what we want to create or manifest. My guides and these beings prefer talking about creation rather than manifestation, because they say that there are so many humans that feel like associate the word of manifestation as something a bit hard, because it has been a word being used for so long that has been something they've been trying and something they have more of a difficult sort of a relation to, in a way. And from the the way of they're moving my hands just in front of the womb. So what they're showing me is that what I've been talking about before as well, with the merging of the feminine and the masculine energy within. And from that point, and being really then in your own energy, and in the merging of this, we can create something new. And sending on our energy and focusing on that rather than everything that is playing out, that allows us to create the new more quickly. So it's all about understanding energy, looking at what is really playing out in terms of energy from your own centeredness, from your own being. Focusing on what you want to create, and when you choose to engage in something that is playing out, do it from a place of feeling aligned. Like here in this thing that is playing out, I feel called and I feel aligned to speak up. I feel aligned to really take action and show how I'm feeling, how I'm like what I feel needs to be said about this from an aligned space and not from a resistant space. Because if you're doing it from resistance, we all know that what we resist persists. So you will actually meet it on the same level of consciousness. But if we meet something that we don't agree with, from an energy that is vibrating higher, meaning going into it with creation in mind, in alignment, not out of fighting, that will create change. Also look at different modalities, different tools that we have learned. There are different modalities for healing, for connecting with guides, for everything. There are different tools that we have learned over the last years, months, and those are really good to have. What I'm saying that also don't be attached to one specific way of doing things. Use everything that you have when something feels aligned to use. So see it more as stepping stones while you are moving around, like, oh, now I can use this. This would not be feeling aligned in this same way yesterday, for example. Then I step over to this next stone because now in this situation, this feels right for me. And when you have that feeling within and it feels more like an expansion, then you know that it's aligned, and then you don't need to question yourself on that. Then you keep going with that. That's being in the flow and with the energy. So really focus within yourself. Be aware that there will be distractions, and the tools you have that you have been using to get in contact with your own energy, whether that is turning off social media, for example, whether it is meditating more, whether it is being in the nature, whether it is taking a bath, whether it is going out with your kids and just playing and just really enjoying, like no matter what it is, use those tools and be also quiet with yourself and stay connected with your own energy. That is the one most important focus. They really, really want to say, because then you're anchoring the light into yourself and into the earth, and that affects the collective as well. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know in the comments how you're doing and how this resonates with you, and feel free to share if you know someone who can have any help from this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!